Talking some history now at the start of this half hour. Right in the heart of downtown Huntsville sits the Madison County Courthouse. But the one that stands today, you might not know, not even close to the original. Okay, we're told there have actually been 4 Madison County Courthouse buildings throughout the history of our area. And here to tell us more about our progress is none other than local podcaster SueAnne. SueAnne, sister, welcome back to the show. This is a really relevant topic right now because many people know we're getting a new city hall downtown, a new government building. So very interested to learn about our government building pasts. Again, we've had 4 courthouses. Yes. This seems shocking to me, but maybe not, because you say the first one was built like before Alabama was even a state.
Right. So that one, we got statehood 1819, and that one had been there about 8 years before that. It was just like a little brick. I feel mean to say it wasn't that exciting looking, but it was just kind of a brick rectangle.
They're like, sure, this will do.
They're doing the best they could at the time, and we've only got drawings because obviously no photos from back then, but the guy who bought the land that they turned into Huntsville, Leroy Pope, we found a thing where he wrote he wanted a gold eagle about 3 feet across to put on top, or gold, like gilded at least, eagle to put on top of the courthouse. So that's in the drawing. I don't know like how impressive that actually looked, if it actually was there. But I just love that he's like, yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Put a gold eagle on it.
Put a bird on it.
I love it. I love these stories from you, SueAnne, because it's just so funny. I think sometimes we forget that like throughout history, these people were real people with real ideas, and the creative process looked very similar how it does today. And someone was just like, yeah, let's put a bird on it. And they said, okay, maybe. We don't really know.
They were like, yeah, let's roll with it.
According to the sketch, maybe it's there on top. Okay, the next one, SueAnne, this one you say had kind of a Greek inspiration.
Yes, and this one, the same guy who designed this designed the bank that's still on the courthouse square, and he was going for like Greek temple. So they've got the columns, and it looks kind of like the I was going to confuse Parthenon, Pantheon, the Greek one. Designed those two, and then that's actually what the current city hall is kind of designed to have a similar feel to that bank, which was also designed to look like this one. So you can kind of see it like carrying through. And he did not like the dome, though. So the story goes he had his thing, it looks like a Greek temple, and the city said, well, we need to put a dome on top of the clock tower and the bells. And he apparently hated it.
No.
Because he was like, no, that wasn't the vision. But this
is not giving what it needed to give.
It's not giving Greek temple, but they had it there anyway. And then this is actually a postcard that the library's got a bunch of these. So people, I mean, they liked it enough they put it on postcards and literally writing home about it.
It's fine, George. The people love it. It's on a postcard. Okay, so that's the second one. This third one, also interesting because you say parts of it are actually now in another part of Huntsville.
Yes. So this one, they originally were going to repair that old one. They said that's going to cost too much. We're going to put a new one up. And this one also had a bunch of columns. If you've been to the botanical gardens, they've now got out at the front and then so in the garden a little bit as well. You've got some of the columns are broken, some are still like intact. Those are these columns that used to be on the courthouse.
I like this one.
And it was a good one. It was apparently really falling apart by early 60s, like Space Race. And that's why every time they've replaced it, they've just said this is too expensive to add on to. So we're just going to put a new one there.
So we'll just start over. Okay, which brings us then to the fourth one, which is the one we have today.
Yes.
When was this one built exactly?
This was mid-60s. 1964 is when they tore the third one down and started on this one. This one, controversial take. I think it's kind of cool just because it's the uniqueness, even though, it's not fancy columns or anything, but it's going to be the last of the like big space race buildings we have. Because we had like the fire station and then the old city hall are getting torn down. And this was like kind of in my head, like the third big one, like in that general area. And I kind of love it for that. And then there's this mural inside that photo.
I was gonna say the interior is pretty stunning.
It's really nice. And I mean, no one's going in there to like hang out. It's like you go get your passport renewed or whatever. I don't even know if they do that there anymore. But I was gonna say, I think I went to go get a driver's license, and they said, oh man, we don't do those here anymore. I had to go to some other. My very first voter registration was in that building, and I just remember that mural. So it's kind of an association thing, but the stairs and the mural, so I love it. And I actually kind of, the mural, they have I think 40 or so different like historic Huntsville people and events on it. Wow. So it's so
here's hoping this one will last us for a good little while.
I hear people say, oh, we should tear it down, it's ugly. I'm like, no, don't. Because when they took that third one down, I think it was like they took a vote and like 75% of people said, oh, tear that third one down, build this one we have now. So it's like everyone always is like, oh, take it down. And then later they're like, oh, actually that old one was nicer. So I'm hoping
I did like the old one. I like the columns on that. But columns now at Huntsville Botanical Gardens. So anyways, this one's still a piece of history from the space age. SueAnne, we love you and we love your knowledge. Of course, you have so much more knowledge that you give out on your podcast, right? Where can we listen along?
It's the Lily Flag Signal. It's going to be just about anywhere that's got podcasts, like Apple, Google, Spotify, all that good stuff. And say if you search for it, it's cow logo. And
Perfect.
that's me.
You see it there on the screen. SueAnne,
Yeah.
we love you so much. My mother
thanks.
loves you too. I know I said that during the break, but my mother's always loved the history girl. She texts me throughout. In case you don't know, my phone literally sits right here, and my mother, Amber,
yeah.
gives us feedback throughout it. SueAnne, thank you again so much. We appreciate it, sister.